Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Wednesday Lunchtime Drive Through on this June the 30th, the final day of June. We are halfway through the year, if you can believe it. It's also the end of the second quarter, and so you'll be seeing your investment statements come out here in the next few months or few weeks. And also at the end of July, we're going to get the economic numbers. So that'll be interesting. I expect that we're going to have incredible economic growth through the second quarter, much like we did in the first quarter. Just this week, I was meeting with some of our partners from JP Morgan, and they're predicting that we could see by the end of the year economic growth pushing 8%, which would be 4 times what we normally see in a typical year. So that would be fantastic. Because usually when the economy grows like that, the market's not too far behind, right? So we expect the market to actually end on a pretty positive note as well. But today we're talking about something completely different. We're talking about the growth and the arrival of NFTs, non-fungible tokens. And if this is something that is completely foreign to you and you've never heard of it, does not surprise me, because a lot of people don't know what they are. And for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Damon King. I'm a certified financial planner professional and wealth management specialist with ChappelWood Financial Services. And I'm also the lead instructor for ChappelWood University, which is the educational branch of ChappelWood Financial. And that's why we host these Wednesday webinars. As always, if you've got a question today, or you just have a comment, because today's topic, a lot of you may not know anything about, so you may not know what questions to ask. But even if you just want to say, are you freaking kidding me? Because today, I promise you, I'm going to share some things with you, some of these NFTs that you're literally going to be like, what the hell? I mean, you're going to, seriously? People paid that much money for that crap? Because that's kind of how I feel. But yes, everything I'm going to show you today is real. It is happening. And you can buy these things too for the right price. But first of all, what is a NFT? And if you're thinking to yourself, well, Damon, shouldn't it be what is an NFT? Isn't that proper English? No, it is what is a NFT, because it would be what is a non-fungible token. That's what NFT stands for. So an NFT is a unique digital asset that is stored electronically. And it is stored electronically using blockchain technology, which is the same technology that supports cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Ethereum or Dogecoin. So what is blockchain technology? We almost kind of have to start there, right? So think of blockchain technology like a chain, and it's made of blocks. And they're little blocks, and they're next to each other. Each block can hold a piece of data or something. It can hold some kind of a digital item. It can be a coin, like a Bitcoin. It can be one of these NFTs, a picture, a song, an art piece of artwork, things like that. The blockchain is very secure, but it also carries a digital stamp and signature that basically says that whatever is inside this block is the actual genuine article, and only one person can own the key that unlocks that block. Now, you can sell that key to somebody else and you can sell the item, but it's almost like a little safe that contains whatever that item is, whether it's a piece of Bitcoin or, in this case, an NFT, which can be almost anything. It can be digital art, it can be a photo, it can be music, it can be games, it can be videos, even phrases, all right? It can be someone's autograph. You're not going to believe this again. From the, I can't believe people pay money for this. There was a celebrity, I don't even know who it was, but I remember reading a story about a celebrity who blew their nose into a Kleenex, took a picture of their snot in a Kleenex, and sold it as an NFT, because when you have an NFT, what you have is unique. And it cannot be replaced by anything else. That's what non-fungible means. So they took a picture of their snot rag, basically, and since it came from a celebrity, somebody wanted to be the only owner of this original piece of art, and they bought it. We actually have somebody here putting a chat. Jennifer says, okay, that's just gross. Yeah, you're right, Jennifer. It is gross. It's gross from a just gross standpoint, and it is gross that people would pay money for that, right? How stupid are people? Well, apparently the old proverb that a fool and their money are soon parted is really true here. Now, some of this is legitimate art, some of it is just dumb, but that's what an NFT is, a non-fungible token. Non-fungible means it is unique and it cannot be replaced by anything else like a piece of art. So if I have a dollar and you have a dollar, our dollars are worth the exact same thing. We can trade them for each other and we still both have a dollar, right? But a piece of art, a unique piece of art, is different. It can't be replaced by anything else. So you can go out and buy, and millions of us can go buy a print of the Mona Lisa, right? A copy of it. But there's only one original, right? It's hanging up in the Louvre in Paris. If you own the original, that means, and there's a digital signature and there's a certification that this is the genuine article, the original, that's what the NFT is, and that's what people are selling. It is non-fungible, meaning there is nothing else on earth exactly like it that can replace it, but you can exchange for it. And that's what people are doing. They are exchanging these NFTs for currency, or they're exchanging currency for NFTs. So that's what a non-fungible token is. Now, what exactly gives the NFT its value? Well, the same things that give any collectible item value. Rarity, for one. If it's a piece of artwork and there's only one in the world, no matter how many copies and prints there might be, there's only one original. So that gives it value, like a coin or anything like that. Maybe it's attached to somebody famous, like the gross story I just shared with you, or a picture of somebody that is nobody of a celebrity that is nowhere else out there. There are models right now that are selling pictures of themselves that do not appear in any other magazine or anything like that, and it's a picture of them sitting in their backyard or sitting on their yacht or wherever. And they're taking these pictures of themselves and selling them for thousands and tens of thousands of dollars. And a lot of people are saying that these NFTs could give people more power over their own image, that you're not now only subject to the photographer or the magazine publisher. Now you can take your own image and likeness in your own control. And if you're a celebrity, you can sell these things, okay? Maybe it's got historical significance, okay? So it's a rare video, or it's a rare picture of a historical figure, or it's a picture of an item that was once owned by a historical figure. And that's the weird thing about this, is that, okay, if you owned a sword that was once used by Alexander the Great in his conquests throughout ancient Europe, you own the sword. That has value, right? Now think that you own a picture of that sword, and it's the only picture of its kind anywhere in the world. Isn't that weird to think that has value? But these things are selling. Even the fact that people simply agree that it has value. If somebody is willing to trade currency for an item, that item has value. If you are willing to part with your hard-earned money for something that I have that nobody else can get, then that item has value, whether you think or they think or anybody else thinks it has value. And that's the interesting thing about the word and the concept of value. Value is determined as much by society's priorities and values as by its actual physical worth. So just because a picture is just a picture, it's, this piece of paper is just a piece of paper, right? But what if I told you this letter that's on here was handwritten by or hand typed by Warren Buffett? Okay, well, that instantly makes that piece of paper more valuable because I have this letter that nobody else has. So whatever we in society and our culture deems as important and valuable, that's what also gives value. So that's what gives even these digital assets value in the eyes of a lot of people. It may not be valuable to you, but if it's valuable to somebody else and they're willing to pay money for it, it has value, all right? It's the same thing with the stock market, right? Stocks and companies only have value because we are willing to trade our money for them. The difference there is that they're producing a product or a service that is actually useful. This is just like any work of art or a piece of art or anything that just hangs on a wall or something like that, except it's even weirder because it just lives on your computer. So how do you go about buying a non-fungible token? Well, you can buy them directly from the creator. So if it's a piece of art or a photo or a piece of music or video, so you can buy it directly from them. But usually the way you're going to do this is through auctions. There are many auction sites out there. You can go Google NFT auction, and you will find all kinds of NFTs that are available out there that you can purchase. You can buy them on the open market. So actually, most NFTs, once they've been bought on auction, most people are buying these things not to own them themselves, but to turn around and then resell them. In fact, there is a whole cottage industry that has popped up of people who will go out and invest in these NFTs and then turn around and sell them on the open market in the aftermarket to people who want access to them. One of the big drawbacks right now with a lot of NFTs is that payment is through cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. So if you want to purchase one of these, you have to have Bitcoin or some other kind of cryptocurrency that the seller will accept. And that is a problem in and of itself, right? Because even owning these cryptocurrencies is extremely risky. Okay, the value of these cryptocurrencies is not backed by any government on earth. There is nothing backing the value of the cryptocurrency any more than there's anything backing the value of these NFTs. So the question then becomes, should you consider buying a NFT? And the whole concept of this presentation today, the reason why I decided to talk about this is that it is a growing area for investment. But I actually have had a couple of clients ask me about them because they did not know what they were. And they wondered, well, should I get in on these NFT craze? Should I do this stuff? Well, let's take a look at it. What are the risks? Well, first of all, as with any collectible, the value of these NFTs can fluctuate wildly. Okay, so again, the Mona Lisa has value because everybody around the world agrees it was created by the master Leonardo da Vinci. It's one of a kind. There's only one like it, and so it has value. But at the end of the day, it's just a painting of a woman, right? I mean, why is that painting of that woman any different from any painting of any other woman? It's because of the person that painted it, how old it is, but mostly because we agree it has value. If tomorrow we could get enough people together to say Leonardo da Vinci was a crock, he wasn't real, that was paint by number, he didn't really do that, it's not even real, or his paintings don't matter, or Picasso's paintings don't matter, who cares about Picasso, what the hell is that thing anyway? I don't know what that is, If we all agreed it didn't have value, then it wouldn't have value anymore. But NFTs have value because enough people treat it as a collectible, and it has value. Remember Beanie Babies? Remember the Beanie Baby craze in the late 90s, early 2000s? Everybody said, oh yeah, these are going to be the next big thing. And people were paying all this money for these really rare Beanie Babies. They're stuffed toys. There's probably thousands of them sitting in someone's attic somewhere now because they don't have value anymore. Why? Because people decided they don't have value anymore. So that's one of the risks of an NFT. Laura, I see that you raised your hand. Do you have a question? If you do have a question, you can go into the Q&A button down at the bottom of your screen or your toolbar, and you can type in a question, or you can alternatively enter it into the chat. Oh, it looks like we do have a chat question here. Do we have a? Okay, she was just going to make a comment. Okay, please, if you've got a comment, please go ahead and put that in there too, because I'd love, oh, Laura says, I have a collection of Beanie Babies. Uh-oh, I hope I didn't offend you, Laura. Hey, look, I had some Beanie Babies too. I even worked in a craft mall. She says they are for sale at a very good price. All right, so if you've got some photos, Laura, you can share them here, and we'll hey, we'll turn this into a marketplace too. Why not? So, but yeah, I mean, I worked in a craft mall, and people would rent booths there and sell artwork and things like that. And there was one lady, and she sold Beanie Babies, and she actually did a pretty big risk business. So what are some of the other risks of NFTs? Well, they're only stored digitally. You don't own anything physical. It's just digital. So if you forget your password, or you lose your data, it's gone. Unless you backed it up somewhere. But see, if you back it up, it's just a copy, right? What's important is that you have the original. You have to have the original. Did you hear the story about the guy that owned all this Bitcoin, but he forgot his password to unlock the vault where the Bitcoins were? And he's only got like 3 more chances to guess the right password, and then it's locked away forever. So unlike owning an actual tangible physical piece of art that you can see and feel and touch, and it can hang up on your wall, these NFTs exist in the ether. They're not real in terms of tangibility or tangibleness, whatever. The resale market might be very small. So just like with any piece of art, especially if it's some kind of an obscure artist, if there's no market to sell it later on, especially if that's what you want to do, you want to buy something and then resell it, you might have a difficult time finding an open, willing market to buy it. And the other issue, just as with any other regular piece of artwork or any kind of creation, there have been counterfeits that have been discovered. They're sold as the genuine article. People pay a lot of money for them, only to find out that it's a counterfeit. So here is my warning to you about NFTs, or really any kind of asset. Any asset whose value exists solely because people say it has value, and it's not backed by anything else. It does not generate income. It is not used in industry. It does not provide a service or any other kind of product. If the only reason something has value is because you and I say it does, like a pet rock or a Beanie Baby, that investment is inherently risky. There is just as much a chance that your investment will go to zero as it will go to the stratosphere. So be very careful when you look at investing, not just in NFTs, but Bitcoin, marijuana. At least pot is a tangible product, and it has practical application. You know, right now the issue with investing in pot to me is not that it's a drug. It's the fact that it's still federally illegal, right? It's a federally regulated substance. Trust me, the moment that marijuana becomes a federally legal substance, even if it's subject to a lot of oversight and regulation, I'm probably going to be buying some myself. Okay? Because we already know there's a huge market for it. These NFTs are very risky. All right, so I'm going to give you some examples of some real NFTs that have actually sold. All right, let's see, we got a comment here. Aren't cryptocurrencies a form of NFTs? And that's a question from Bill. And Bill, the answer to that is no, because the difference here is that these are one-of-a-kind items, okay? They only exist. There's only one original. There are many Bitcoins out there. In fact, I think there's like 18 million coins. So it's just like any currency. Any currency, to really have any use, there has to be a lot of it out there, right? So that we can all use it as a means of exchange. So just like a dollar bill, there are billions of dollar bills in circulation. They have a value of $1, but they are fungible, meaning they can be exchanged for other dollars. Bitcoin is the same way. If I own a Bitcoin and you own a Bitcoin, those are worth the exact same thing. I don't know what it's worth right now. One coin's worth like $35,000, I guess. I haven't looked at it. But those can be exchanged for each other. An NFT, there's only one of them. Now, no matter how many copies there are, only one of these is the genuine, unique article. And that is what makes it non-fungible. It cannot be replaced by anything else like itself. It can only be exchanged for something else, like currency or investments, whatever. And that's the difference. So an NFT is one of a kind. There's nothing else like it on earth, not like that original. So here are some examples of NFTs. This is called the Gucci Ghost Yellow Aqua. It was designed by digital artist Trevor Andrew. And what you can't see here, if you look at the actual, so go Google Gucci Ghost Yellow Aqua. And you'll see that it kind of waves, it kind of moves. All right, now here, this is just a still image of it. Believe it or not, this thing sold for $3,600. This stupid little image right here. Somebody paid $3,600 to own this original piece of artwork. Okay, but wait, it's only going to get stupider from here. Okay, now this is a video. Now this is a still image from the video, but it's a 50-second video called Death of the Old. It recently sold at an auction. The 50-second video, one of a kind. There's no other copy of it anywhere on the earth that we know of. The original sold for $388,938. A 50-second video, and all it is a bunch of baby angels flying through and there's some dramatic music and stuff. But you can go out there again. You can Google all of these. That's what I did. All right, because I wanted to show you some of these. Okay, are you really ready? Now we're going to start really getting stupid. Okay, so recently, William Shatner, also known as Captain Kirk from Star Trek, to make a little bit of extra cash, William Shatner went out and sold 125,000 digital images from his life and career, including an X-ray of one of his teeth from his dental records. William Shatner sold an X-ray of one of his teeth, and it had value. Someone paid money for an X-ray because it was attached to William Shatner. Yes, someone actually paid money. He had old baby pictures, original digital versions of these pictures. They didn't have the picture itself. They didn't have the Polaroid. It was a digital certified image of the picture, and he sold it. He sold 125 of these for well over $1 million. See, I knew we were going to have fun with this. Nancy says, I have some political mugs if anyone is interested. You can do this. If you have something that is unique and you take a picture of it, or it's designed by somebody, you know, people are selling these things. People are making actual real US dollars, or whatever the currency is, off of this crap. I'm telling you, I don't understand it. I really don't. Maybe I'm too old. I don't know. Maybe my mind is closed. But there are people out there who just have to have a picture of Captain Kirk's tooth, an X-ray of his tooth, to make their life complete. All right, here we go. This one is crazy. So maybe you've heard the name Jack Dorsey. Jack Dorsey is the founder of Twitter. The very first tweet that was ever sent out, March 21st of 2006. This is the tweet. He recently took that tweet, the original one, and packaged it up as a digital image and sold it at auction for $2.5 million. Basically, this person paid $2.5 million for what amounts to his autograph. I don't know what else to say. Somebody paid $2.5 million to have a digital autograph from the guy that's founded Twitter. Maybe they really like Twitter. I don't know. All right. Now, I'm about to show you one that you're just going to be like, you got to be kidding me. All right. This is the one that really just made me think that's it. I got to end with this one. All right. So somebody paid $2.5 million for this. Okay. A picture of a tweet. Check this out. This is a collage that was created by Mike Winkelman. He's a digital artist that goes under the name Beeple. Okay, Beeple. This is the actual collage, or a picture of it, that he designed. And you can see it's got all kinds of little people and different designs and things in there. An original piece of digital art. Not a framed piece that can hang on the wall. Not something that you can see, feel, or touch. Just a digital image that I took a picture of right here. It sold for $69 million through Christie's auction house. Somebody paid $69 million to own this digitally. We got a comment here. Jennifer says 69 million. Wow, I'm in the wrong business. Jennifer, I think we're all in the wrong business. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm on the radio. I'm on television. I'm a celebrity now. You know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to go out. I'm going to go to lunch one time, and I'm going to have like a half-eaten chicken leg sitting on my plate, and I'm going to take a picture of it, and I'm going to send it out to all of my tens of watchers and radio show listeners to say, hey, this chicken leg, here's a picture of a chicken leg that touched my lips. This has some real value. I'm going to, it's for $1 million. Laura says, we are a smart group. Let's put our heads together and come up with our own. 69 million split a few ways is a nice retirement. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I average about 30 people every week on the call here. So yeah, we could probably split 69 million 30 ways. Absolutely. So can you believe this? I mean, people are spending money on this stuff. You can find a lot more out there. There are tons more of them out there. But these are a few. Let's see, we got a question here. Okay, Kevin. Kevin says, I'm not interested if you're in your leftovers picture, but would you sell a pair of your baby shoes for $1 million? Yeah, I might do the, maybe I'll get them chrome plated first, Kevin, and then I'll sell my baby shoes. I know my mom's got them somewhere. I don't know. I mean, it's unbelievable what people are willing to spend their money on so that they can have something that nobody else owns. Okay. I mean, again, I am not suggesting that artwork, pieces of art, music, other creations don't have value. Trust me, if I can have an honest to goodness Van Gogh hanging up in my office, sure, I'll take it. I'm not sure that I'd pay $69 million, even if it was a Van Gogh. I mean, I like art, I just don't like it that much. And I've got other things to do with that. Kevin says, after all, you are a TV star. Now, I know, Kevin, I know. I mean, who would not want a picture of this face? Who would not want my baby shoes? I mean, come on. Let's see, we've got another comment here. Bill says it perfectly. A fool is easily separated from his money. Yes. Yes, they are. And look, to each their own, I suppose. But for me, I think these things are kind of crazy. But they are out there. And, it's important that we educate ourselves, right? It's important that we know what's going on in the world. I'm not suggesting that you go out and buy a bunch of NFTs and count on that to be your retirement plan. But I want you to know what they are, it's a financial topic, and it's gaining steam, and they're out there. So now you can drive yourself crazy by reading about all of the crazy things that people are willing to spend their money on. So are there any other thoughts or questions as we get ready to wrap up our time together? Anybody have any other thoughts? Let's see. We answered that question. We answered that question. We've had a lot of fun comments. I knew there would be. I knew you guys would be like, you have got to be kidding me. I can't believe people spend their money on this stuff. But they do. But what this should tell you is there are a lot of gullible people out there that would be just willing to give you their money. So the takeaway today is, Bill said it, a fool is easily separated from his money. So let's help him out. Let's help them out. Let's take advantage of them. Why not? Okay. I probably shouldn't say that. All right. This is being recorded after all. Wendy says, just a thought, bless their hearts. Yeah. See, that's what we say in the South, right? If we look at somebody and we want to say other bad words to them, but we can't bring ourselves, we just say, bless their hearts. Bless your poor little heart. Yeah, exactly. So, my thoughts exactly. So anyway, I wanted to have a little bit of fun with you guys today. A little bit different topic than normal, but it is real. It is there, and it's legitimate. It's just a little fun. So Kevin mentioned our television show. If you've not had a chance to check out our show, It's all about the money, honey. It's a 30-minute television show. It airs locally here in the Oklahoma City area every Sunday morning at 11 o'clock on KWTV News 9. That's the CBS channel for those of you who are not native to Oklahoma City. It airs every week, and so we've had 3 episodes that have aired. Now, if you do miss an episode, you can stream our shows on demand. You just go to YouTube, search out for the Financial Diva channel, and you'll find one of our playlists there is It's All About the Money, Honey. You'll see all of our episodes that have aired right there, and you can watch them on demand. And if you've got a question that you would like us to feature the next time we go out and record some new episodes, send them to me. Email me at damon@chappelwood.com. I would be happy to feature your question on an upcoming episode. We do have a couple of questions. That's exactly right. So Wendy said, bless their hearts. And Laura says, that has a different meaning when a Southern woman says it. That's exactly right. That's only something you hear in the South. And it is code for, well, I can't share what it's code for. I can't utter those words here today, but anyway, that's true. All right. Well, I do want to thank you all so much for joining me today on the Wednesday Lunchtime Drive Through. We had a lot of fun. And, you know, go out and research non-fungible tokens and have your own mind blown of what people are willing to spend their money on instead of investing in the stock market where we can make some real wealth. So thanks so much for watching today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next week on the Wednesday Lunchtime Drive Through. Take care. Bye-bye.